I am content creator Sally Estlin and the founder of Empowered Clothing. I empower women over 50 to create a conscious and intentional lifestyle on my show, Finding Your Way with Sally Estlin. And hello, everyone. Yes, it's Sally here. I'm content creator and holistically fit specialist. I share authentic and everyday issues with women over 50. So you can learn more about my fashion products and services at empowerclothing.com.au. So today I'm very excited to be having a discussion with Debbie Barker. Our topic today is how to take time to recharge. So before I bring Debbie up, I'm just going to introduce her with a few lines. So Debbie Barker is an international Reiki master. She loves helping others feel better about life, physically and emotionally. Through her remote Reiki energy sessions, she calls it her energy fun stuff, she helps each client to look at life differently. She listens to her guides and uses the energy modalities that each client's body needs at that moment in time. She has helped with relaxing physical bodies, stopping the mind from racing, releasing anxiety, sleeping better at night, dealing with co-workers and family members, etc. So since 2004, she has helped her clients feel more relaxed and peaceful after each session. Debbie has two awesome adult children, Kristin and Timothy, and cherishes time with her family. And she also loves touring on a motorcycle with David, her incredible husband, since 1980. Wow, that is a long time in this current environment. So without further ado, let's bring up Debbie. Welcome. You're just coming up now and onto the screen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on Finding Your Way.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sally. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so you've had a very interesting career. How did you get into all of this?
Well, I was going after, and I got a designation called Certified Natural Health Professional, and you had to take 5 core classes. And up until this point, I would wait for the classes to come in my area, and then I would go for the weekend and take the class. And they were what you would expect: nutrition, enzymes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I got this book called Body Works, and they were using the energy in the body to align it like a chiropractor. And I told my husband, I said, these people are nuts. If they think I can do this with energy in the body, I don't know what their problem is, but I'll find out. They proved it the entire weekend. It was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. I want to do energy stuff. I mean, and then I just started learning one modality after the other, the Reiki, the emotion code, the Jin Shin Jitsu, the pranic healing. It just snowballed, and it's just been a fun journey.
I love it because we're both very similar. We follow the energy and we're like sponges. We just want to absorb and learn more and see what else is out there because we can feel it inside, right? Do you get that sort of like, that thirst for like, what's more, what's around the corner? How can it's amazing, isn't it, when you tap in with energy and what you can do with it? It's like working with magic, except it's not magic, it's real.
Yeah, it is like magic. That's a perfect way to describe it. Because you just go with it because you know it's right.
Yeah. So when did your path start? It was a long time ago.
Well, I've been offering this since about 2004, but things had happened to me during my lifetime that I didn't think was a big deal. But looking back on, it's like I've had these gifts all along.
Yeah.
My mother was crossing over and she was crying the whole last 24 hours. She couldn't speak. And my sister's wiping her nose and saying, Mom, calm down. I said, oh, she's thinking about the time we were kids. And I would just fill in the blank of what my mom was thinking. And it didn't feel strange at all. She calmed right down. She just couldn't speak. So I spoke for her. And then a couple years after that, my daughter is in college for the first time. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and I knew she was going through something major. And by 6 o'clock that night, I still hadn't heard from her. I thought, that's it. I'm calling her. So I called and I said, she answers the phone. Hi, Mom. I said, where were you at 3 a.m? And there's this silence. And she said, at the hospital. And I said, are you okay? She said, yes. She explained what happened with her friend and everything. And when those things happen to you, it's like there really is something there. I'm not making this up.
Oh, it's so true. When you can get out of your head and just trust and follow the energy. I'm getting goosebumps talking to you because, I have this mantra, let go, step up and just be more. But it's about letting go of things making sense. A lot when you're working with energy, it doesn't make logical sense. You have to sort of let go of hanging on to that logic, right? And just following that because your gut senses. I always talk about the three brains, the head brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain. And the gut brain is your inner GPS that guides you. And the head brain is there to protect us for sure, but it's overcoming stuff that doesn't make sense when you're working with energy.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sorry, go on.
you just have to go with it.
Yeah.
You have to trust it.
Yeah, I was just about to say trust the energy. It's so funny because behind me I've got one of my tops that says choose to trust. It's trust is something that when you can relinquish that control and just allow yourself to follow that energy, it's amazing what unravels. And like, the story you just shared about with your mum and your daughter. And I've had a number of those moments where it didn't make sense, but you could just sense that something was up. I mean, many years ago, and this is before I really was working with energy, probably, I don't know, early 20s, and one of my dogs had run away and just could sense that they were okay, even though we had no idea. And long story short, found it 5 days later and someone had sort of stolen it and then whatever, but it came back. But I was just tapping into that energy, feeling into it. Like, it's amazing. And animals are so intuitive. Do you work with animals at all?
I have worked with animals in the past, yes.
Yeah, like it's amazing. I used to have dog whisperers that came around to help me connect with the dogs when I just, you knew that there was something going up. And of course, they're absorbing my stress. I didn't know that at the time, but, so interesting, so interesting. So let's talk to me about how did you get into bike riding, motorbike riding? That's a fun fact I didn't know about you.
Oh, this was when my husband and I first started going out. He said, "Oh, he says, my brother wants to sell his motorcycle." And we were saving up for a house at the time. And he said, "Let's just go and take a short ride." I said, "Okay." So I get on the back and he rides me around and he, stops and he says, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, we're buying the motorcycle. The house is going to have to wait." It's so relaxing and you just feel like you're part of the scenery and nobody can get hold of you. You can't hear a thing. And it's time for you to connect with Mother Nature or with any thoughts that are being dropped into the head. I mean, because you're quiet, you're on this bike, and it's just, I don't know, it's a Zen thing for me.
Oh, totally.
I fall asleep on the back of the bike, and I wake up because my helmet hits my husband's, and it's like, oh, sleep.
That's so funny because today's topic is how to take time out to take time to recharge. And mine every day is walking in nature. But I know what you mean. It's that turning off from the noisy outside world
Yeah.
and just really connecting with nature, and it's taking it back to basics. It's so cathartic. And I think it's so important, particularly with this busy 24/7 world that's surrounding us, to have an outlet where you can turn off, like literally turn off.
Well, it's important. And, multiple times during the day, like before I got on here, I just sat quietly and closed my eyes and asked God, okay, just give me the words to say. And, you just kind of take a minute to prepare yourself for
Yep.
the next thing that you're going to do, because you want to be present. You want to be in the moment. You don't want to be thinking about your to-do list or anything like that. You just
Yeah.
want to
Yep.
speak from your heart.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. I think it's really important to do that reset, no matter what, in between appointments or whatever you've got going on. But taking that time, as you say, to be present in the moment, because there's, when you're interacting with people and they're not really there and they go, and then
Right.
just not engaging. So, like, why waste your time? You go all in, right?
Well, but sometimes too, if you're sitting at a red light, if you're thinking, oh, this is a long red light, well, use it. Sit there and notice a tree that you haven't seen before. Tell the tree how beautiful it is. Or look up at the sky and say, oh my gosh, look at that color blue. Look at that cloud floating by. I mean, be where you are and enjoy it.
And absolutely. And I think that's a really important point, is taking time to notice the little things around you. That old saying, take time to smell the roses. And that's
Yeah.
when you can do it. Instead of being rush, 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 you got to stop and reset and think, hang on, stop, pause. What's going on here? I often say, because I'm a personal trainer, I say to people, do your core exercises, your pelvic floor. Lift it.
Yes. Yeah, but you could.
Yeah.
Right?
or just take time to look around and just go, look, it's a beautiful day. The sky is blue and the sun is up, and that does recharge your batteries, right? It's letting go of the noise and the stress and the constant at you, and just stopping and breathing and pausing. I think, using your breath, as we both do with our clients, is super important. So talk to me a little bit more about your work and connecting with the guides, because I have had an amazing healing session with you, and your manner, your everything is incredible, but you just are so connected. Now, for a lot of people, that's a little bit like, whoa, it's out there. But, when you once again let go and just trust the process, you have incredibly deep healing abilities there, and changes with your clients.
Well, I was working on a client, of mine, it's all remote, but she was so upset about a coworker. She said, I can't believe she's talking to me about these things and she's saying this to people and it's not true. I thought she was my friend. I mean, she's going on and on. And so finally she took a breath. I said, wait a minute. Do you want me to ask my guides how you should handle this? And there was this little pause and she went, yes, because this happened last week. I can't believe I'm still upset about it.
Yeah.
So this was her homework, okay? She had to write down 5 good things about that person for the next 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she texted me on day 5. She said, I now understand the situation more. I understand why she's doing this. I understand what she's going through. And while I'm not going to be her best friend, it doesn't bother me like it did before. And I'm bringing different energy in every time I go into work.
Mm.
And that's all she needed. She had to get into that headspace of, okay, this person's going through these things. It has nothing to do with me, so it doesn't have to bother me.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. You can't change what you don't know. So when you can have that little bit of support about it. So talk to me about which guides you use when you're doing your work.
Well, I work with ascended masters. I work with archangels. All angels of 100% pure white light always come in to do a session. Of course, God is always there. And my protector guide, his name is Mangor. He always shows up. So,
what's his name? Sorry.
Mangor, Mangor.
Mangor.
He's my protector guide.
Yeah, love
it. So, different ascended masters will come in or different archangels will come in. And, a lot of times I'm watching Archangel Michael do certain things and I'm describing to the person so they know the energy's coming from here. It's taking a U and it's coming out this side and this is being done. And, sometimes we just have so much sadness that we just have to get rid of it. It just has to be flushed out. We don't need to stay in that. That's a heavy emotion that's pulling us down. And a lot of times when things are pulled out of the body, we might be doing emotion code. So if I'm pulling out sadness, I'm leaving holes in the energy field. Well, I want your energy field to be strong, so I don't want those holes there, right? So then I ask my guide, what am I replacing it with?
Yep.
Sometimes it's love or hope or peace or joy. I mean, it's whatever is needed is just like pushed into that little area in their energy field so they stay strong, and it's a higher vibration and you feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. I do exactly the same. So in my line of work, and what we take, what you pulled out from me was amazing, and it's filling up that space with high vibration stuff. So, I use crystals or sprays or feathers or whatever it is required at the time, and fill in that hole and sew it all up. And so it's literally, when you're working with the energy fields, once you get your head around that it's just the energy, it's like just a template, if you like, or a blueprint, and you're just taking things out and putting things in and getting rid of the muck and just putting in lighter, higher level energy stuff, love, lots of love.
But it's like too, when you've got your clothing line, you tune in to the person who's going to be receiving that shirt. And you put the right and perfect energy on the shirt for that person. It makes a huge difference.
It's so interesting you say that, because I had a guest on last week and she had received a blue top and she said, you can actually feel the love in it. And I said, it's a difference when you're working with conscious clothing, and each clothing has its own frequency and vibration, but you can feel the love that's put inside of it. It's incredible. It's hard to describe, but I think this is the new way forward, where we're stepping more powerfully into having a conscious awareness of not just who we are, but, what we're eating and what we're wearing and, and feeling the vibration out of that. Because, when you eat shitty food, you can feel the low vibration out of that,
Yes.
Greasy food or just stuff that makes you heavy, and the high vibration food, lighter food, the plant stuff. A lot of people are eating a plant-based diet because of the lighter vibration with it, and it's not so heavy on the digestion, etc. So I think this is now, particularly this year, people are a lot more open-minded to different opportunities and possibilities, and trying it out as well, not just hearing it, but also living it as well, actioning it.
I agree. Yes.
So, I mean, it's time to shine, isn't it? I met you through networking, and it was just so beautiful, because the networking is it's not so energy based. It's just it's sort of a business sort of focus, I suppose. And I think you and I and so many other light workers are just sort of normalizing working with energy, and allowing it to be sort of a more mainstream therapy, if you like, for people to help themselves, to get rid of the
Yeah.
stuff, pulling out the stuff that you don't need to hang on to. Because, to be honest, we've all got stuff, and let's let go of it, because we can only work through so many layers, and there's all that other stuff that we're not aware of.
We just have to be aware of it. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't beat yourself up over it.
Yeah.
Just say, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to let that go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when you're 4 years old and you want a cookie and your mother says no, and you pitch this big tantrum because you don't get to have the cookie that you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, can you let that go now? Because, we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s. That shouldn't still be in here. We can just let it go by the wayside, because it really doesn't matter anyway. It happened so long ago. Who cares? So it's just time to let go of some of that crap.
I know, and there's so much childhood stuff and limiting beliefs, because what happens to you as a kid is a really big deal when you can't have the cookie. But when you're 40, 50, 60, and you go, oh my God, that's still a thing for me. Like I just didn't realize that is so ridiculous. And that's part of your healing process, is realizing that what was big at the time is not big now. It was just,
Right.
Don't need to carry that with us, because that's heavy. That's like heavy bricks in a backpack of stuff. We just need to get rid of the backpack.
Yeah. Or you're mad at a sibling for something they did when you were in your 20s. Well, okay, can that go now?
I know. We're like elephants. We don't forget, right? Oh, and that's heavy. That's heavy. So today you've brought along a beautiful empowerment share. People ask for your help in many different ways, and you simply ask your guides for the answers. So we were sort of talking about that a little bit, but you really do simplify it down by just saying, okay, where do I need to help them? Do you want to talk a little bit more to this?
Well, I'll have people call me and say, okay, I just keep hearing that I'm supposed to call you, and this is what's going on in my life, and I'm not quite sure what's happening with that. And then I'll say, okay, you're birthing a new idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tell them what's in my head. I mean, because it's been downloaded for me to come out my mouth to tell them. And, they're like, wow, oh my gosh. So they get to spend time sitting quietly saying, okay, what is this new idea I'm birthing? Because I know I'm going to be on the ground floor of something, and then I'm going to be helping people, and that's all I know. So I'm going to be quiet and have some quiet time every day and get some answers.
Yeah, I just love it. I love it, because you're just supporting people, and sometimes just validating what they might be feeling inside, or just opening up some new possibilities for them. It's so how do people work with you, Debbie?
Well, a lot of times I'm just on the phone. I tell people, put me on speakerphone, close the door in your room, tell anybody else in your household just to leave you alone. Sit down, lay down best, close your eyes.
Yeah.
And then, everything is based on their intention. Why are they having this session that day? And I tell everybody, set it to yourself. I want privacy. Okay. I don't want you to have to say something out loud that you don't want to. I want you to get what you came for. So you're going to decide ahead of time, what do you want? And then you want to ask that your thoughts and emotions line up with that, so we can look at things differently.
Yeah.
And then you get to go to a quiet, relaxed place in your brain. I like to go to a waterfall. Oh my gosh, my waterfall, there's no bugs. I have on a string bikini and the perfect body. I'm swishing my hand in the water and feeling the sun and the spray. I mean, so wherever you like to go, you just immerse yourself there. And then the third thing to do to get the most out of your session is just come from gratitude and say thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I tell everybody, I'm like Las Vegas. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So, I mean, that's the way it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want people to come and to feel better when they finished.
Yeah. Well, I've had a session with you, and that's exactly it. You go to this wonderful place. You just, picture yourself there. Mine's at the beach, and yours is the waterfall and in the string bikini. I love it. But I mean, gratitude is the universal manners, right? That's please and thank you is in universal manners. It's gratitude. And just thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got to say, sessions with you are so relaxing. And I literally lay down on the floor, closed the door, had my phone next to my ear, and just, you're in Georgia, aren't you? Atlanta, Georgia?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And like here I am in Melbourne, it doesn't matter where you are around the world. You got me in this great place. You removed stuff that I didn't need to hang on to. You brought in Archangel Michael and a whole heap of others and, did the stuff. And I just got up and it was, for a number of days, I just could feel the lightness and stuff leaving. And it was, so beautiful. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, as you say, intention is everything because, where your attention goes, your energy flows, which is what my clothing was based on. But so today now we've brought along an expert tip. Listen to that little voice inside your heart. It will help you connect the dots. Love it.
Well, I mean, have you ever, you're starting to leave the house and it doesn't look dark, but you think, why did I just get the idea to bring my umbrella? Okay, I'll grab my umbrella. Out the door you go. You get to where you're going. It's pouring down rain.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so you just kind of listen. Or, somebody says, take a right instead of a left.
Yeah.
So you go right and you get home and you realize if I had turned left, there was a really bad car accident. I'd be still sitting out on the road there.
Yeah. You know what? It is exactly how I live my life. And it all started by listening to that little niggle inside, that little voice in your head that makes absolutely no sense. People around me go, Dad, Sal. And I go, look, I'm sorry, but I have to honor the energy because when I don't, it doesn't turn out well for me. And it turns out really well for me when I do. It doesn't make sense. Like, this clothing didn't make sense, but, I just followed the energy. I followed that little voice inside my head. I followed that sort of gut instinct. And the more you do it, the more your life just unfolds in a more beautiful way. It's hard to describe, but you just follow that energy.
You do. I mean, it just feels right.
Yeah, it does.
People just look at me and say, why are you doing that? I said, because it's the right thing to do for me right now.
Yeah.
It's just a gut feeling. You just know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, what I really love about you is that you simplify everything to just be because it feels right, and that's as simple as it needs to be. It's, it feels right. Keep it simple. It's don't overcomplicate everything. And I think you really drill it down to be very approachable for people to understand, working with energy. It's not too complicated. It's just, and following that energy inside because it does feel right.
Okay, so here's a real fun thing to do.
Yeah.
If somebody is brand new to energy, I want them to think of an animal or something. Like, okay, a butterfly. Okay. Mm-hmm. Think of a butterfly and say, okay, I want to see as many butterflies as I can today. It doesn't matter that it's winter time. I'm in the winter here. You're just going to see butterflies. So it could be a picture of a butterfly come across your screen when you're Googling things, or it could be an article in the paper that you're looking at. It's like, oh my gosh, there's a butterfly here.
Yeah.
You will start to see butterflies. You really will. You may not see a physical one, but you will see butterflies or bears. I mean, pick something, go with it.
Yeah. Look, that's all around. Sorry.
You'll just be surprised.
And Absolutely. I mean, that's all part of the manifesting and the visualization, but it's basically your intention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And that's a really good little exercise to do, and you start to bring it in. It's like when you're in a hurry and you keep getting red lights at the traffic lights. You're bringing that in because it's the signal you're putting out to the universe. I'm crazy. I'm frantic. I'm running late. So the universe says, "Oh, you want to run late? Okay, let's help you amplify that,
Yes.
and we'll give you more red lights." But what if you put out to the universe and said, resonated out with calm and peace and happiness? I'm feeling really good and happy today. Some days you just wake up and you're just full of it. You're just full of fantastic optimism, positivity, gratitude, which is our everyday, to be. But that's what we're putting out. And the universe says, "Oh, you want happy, peace, joy, positivity? Here's more of it." And then you get every green light, you get all these doors that open, and
Exactly.
that's how it works.
Well, whenever I get in the car, I always say, thank you for my safe trip to wherever it is I'm going. And I
Yeah.
thank the vehicles moving. I used to say cars, I got stuck behind a bus. So then I changed it to the vehicles moving. And then I also thank them for all the green lights.
Yeah.
And most of the time I have green lights. I'm just sailing through.
Yeah.
If for some reason I'm getting red lights and I'm supposed to meet somebody and I think I'm going to be late, it's like, no, for some reason they're going to be late too. And we
Yeah.
both walk in the door at the same time and we're both late. You just don't get upset over this stuff.
I know. It's so true. It's so true. I love it. I usually manifest parking spots. That's another thing because
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
it saves a lot of time, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh man, so funny. So today, I was linking in our topic of how to take time to recharge, which is linking into the base chakra of getting you anchored. And I'll just bring up this. Um, I think I've shown you before, but I've done a racer back and a long sleeve top in the chakra colors. So today is linking into the red, which is the base chakra, and that's about uh, the the racer back have I choose to be anchored, and the long sleeve have anchoring peace, calm, and happiness. Let's find the long one because it's just as we're talking about energy, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So what if you dress more powerfully with powerful affirmations in a chakra top? So you're working with your energy centers. I'm using the healing properties of crystals as well. So I've got red jasper, but it's just really dressing more powerfully for your day ahead because every day you've got to get up, right, and got to get dressed. And what if you wanted to feel more anchored and grounded in, right? So that's about reconnecting to the earth and anchoring in your own energy, having you grounded with stability and peace and calm, like we were talking about, so that your day ahead is not frantic. You're actually anchored down in this calmness and peace. And then you can calm the mind, calm the body, and calm the soul. And then you're going to have more happiness in all of the areas of your life. So this base chakra is associated with grounding, as I just said, stability, safety, security, all those survival sort of needs as well. So what do you think of the red, Deb?
I really like it, but you know what? It's winter here, right?
Yeah.
So that is something I can wear underneath another shirt if it's cold.
Yeah.
And I will know I have it on and the energy will affect me all day. But I don't have to advertise it. I don't have to tell other people. I just know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And one of the ideas around this about dressing with intent was there was a professional, very successful businessman years and years ago, and he used to wear different chakra socks or ties or undies, and it was just didn't tell anybody, but that was what he was stepping into. And a lot of people do like they have their special socks, like if they're sports people or the special shoes or
Right.
whatever. And
Yeah.
it's the same sort of thing. But particularly if you're feeling you're going to a place where you can get sort of pulled out of places, parties or festivals or whatever, and you just want to feel grounded, or you don't want to get caught up in the wave of craziness.
Yeah.
You're anchoring yourself down. So I mean, all year round, I wear both, and these are designed to layer. So, like you can see in the red and the blue one there, it's got the blue underneath, and that's about
Yeah.
bring that one up. Yeah, doing that one. So, my sister and I have designed some candles as well, and they had the essences of Australian essences in there, with the little chakra crystals in there as well. So, yeah, it's just utilizing your energy in a more powerful way. So that's what we've been talking about. It's simplifying it down, and I think now it's time for this sort of new age wave of clothing, because we're getting dressed every day anyway. And I'm quite strong about sustainability and ethical manufacturing, because the fashion industry is so wasteful. I had no idea. Were you across that? It's just so much goes into the waterways. It's frightening. But
Well, I know that your clothing is just so completely different.
I know. So it's
But,
made
I
out of
mean,
bamboo and sustainably sourced and manufactured. But
yeah.
it's not a fad fashion. It's something that you just can wear. It's well made. It's made with love. Will last for a long time. So, yeah. So as I said before, we've got the oh, what did I say? Red jasper is the crystal, because each of the tops comes with a little pocket. Because once again, some people are touchy feely, and I don't know about you, but for years I've been carrying stuff down my boobage. It'll be crystals, it'll be magic wands, it'll be all this stuff. Often I reach over and stuff goes falling out of my top. And I thought, you know what? I think crystals are really important, but probably I can't sell it to say, hey, stick this down your boobage. So I've got little pockets on the side. And yeah, so that you can really step into that. Because once again, the crystals have healing properties, and the red jasper is about grounding and stabilizing, and it enhances your courage, strength, and vitality. So what's not to love about that? So yeah, that's the tying in clothing with, just working with your energy. And I think, now's the time to do that, because I mean, you're wearing your top. Is that like a pinky colored top, or is it a more purple top underneath?
It's like a purple, light purple color.
Yeah, so that's all about being connected, right? And today, connecting in and with your higher self, all that sort of thing. So is it evening time over there?
It is evening time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So what do you do to recharge tonight?
Well, I'm just going to sit down and put my feet up and look out the window and breathe, because
Yeah,
this has been nonstop. Even though I have little stops during the day that I've reconnected with,
yeah,
it's just nice to just be chilled out before I go and make some dinner.
yeah, 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 yeah. Is it snowing over there? Does it snow in Georgia? I don't know.
No, it doesn't. No, you have to go either far up north or way out to the west to get some
Right.
snow.
Yeah, no, well, I think I would like your climate. I'm not a cold person. Like,
I'm
it's
not
30
either.
degrees here, which is what's 30 degrees in Fahrenheit? It'd have to be, I don't know. It's up there anyway. It's quite warm. So my girlfriend's Claire has made these beautiful sprays as well, energy sprays. Do you use these with your clients at all?
No, I don't. But you know what? I gave it as a gift and she absolutely loved it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you bought some from here.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I meant to
And
ask
I
you
and I
about
gave
that.
her the one of the candles as well, and she was just so tickled pink.
Oh,
And I
lovely.
can't wait. And I have another candle and the chakra bracelet that I'm bringing to a friend of mine at the
Yeah.
end of the month. So
Oh,
I can't wait
fantastic.
till she gets them.
Yeah, no, the chakra bracelets are great. So I have them in chakras, or with different well-being ones, or the chakra crystals. And it's once again, it's something touchy-feely that you can wear. And once again, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So you're tapping into the energy of the crystals in there, and what these healing bracelets that they're helping you do. So yeah, very cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'll just get that off the screen. I'm not a big techno head. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. So what I love about you, Debbie, is that you just normalize energy, because when I've been working in this world for a long time too, and some people I meet and their titles, if you like, are just really complicated. Yours is International Reiki Master. It's pretty straightforward, and it's you make things less complicated, just more understandable and more approachable, in the sense of giving something a go. Because as you say, you get people to lie down, take yourself to a happy place, and you just go and do the work, take out what needs to be taken out, and put in the good stuff. And
Well, and sometimes people will say, "Oh, I'm seeing the color orange," or "Oh, my hand just got hot, and the rest of my body's cold." Or you never know what's going to happen. It's just fun.
Yeah, because as we started saying at the beginning of today, it's working with magic, really. It's energy is magic because
It
it
is.
magical things happen to you and your life.
Yep. You just have to tune in and say thank you.
Tune in and say thank you. Oh my goodness, that's actually a perfect way to wind this up. Any other wise words that you can impart? Tune in and say thank you. I love that.
Just keep coming from gratitude.
Yeah.
And if you get up and you're on the wrong side of the bed, you're done brushing your teeth, you can at least say, it felt good to brush my teeth,
Yeah.
right? You're going to say a positive thing. Your mind might not be there yet,
Yeah.
but it's true. Your teeth feel better. Okay, I feel good. I brushed my teeth. So
Yeah.
you just start saying uplifting things to yourself and you'll feel better.
Yeah, because there's a saying, fake it till you make it. You just keep saying it. And then all of a sudden you cross that line and you can actually feel it, right? So you're
Yes.
saying the words and then it's just like with anything. You keep at it, stay consistent and persistent. And then all of a sudden everything starts to blossom. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Debbie, so much for being a guest on Finding Your Way. It's been a delightful time to have a chat with you about who you are and what you do. People can find you at debbiebarker.com. Is that the best way to track you down?
Yep. That's the best way.
And I highly encourage everybody to reach out and have a session with Debbie because, as I just said, you just lie there and just take yourself to a happy place and Debbie just works away and you get up feeling amazing and fantastic and really, really calm and at peace. And you just feel lighter because you let go of that heavy stuff that you don't need to be carrying around like, mum stole my biscuit at 4. Well, thanks again, Debbie. I'm going to drop you down into the green room and I'll just close up here.
All
And
right.
thank you so much. And I look forward to chatting to you again very shortly in the future.
Thanks for having me, Sally. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
See ya. So thank you, everyone. You can join me for another episode of Finding Your Way with Sally Estlin next Wednesday at 3 p.m. and Thursday 10 a.m. Oh, sorry, that's 3 p.m. Pacific time and Thursday at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that was such a delightful conversation with Debbie today. I just think she's an awesome chick. She just makes things so real and she's so approachable. So I do encourage reaching out to Debbie and having a session with her. So without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to drop myself down and bring up the last little video. And I look forward to seeing you all next week on Finding Your Way with Sally Estlin. So without further ado, I'll say adieu and I'll see you all next week. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. You can learn more about me, my Empowered Clothing, products and services at empoweredclothing.com.au. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sally Estlin, the Holistically Fit Specialist.